Good evening and welcome to Icu Tv main news. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Home Affairs Ministry begins digital transformation of identity services. Power Tools bus gutted by fire on Great North Road. SAFF transforms livelihoods of small-scale farmers in Eastern Province. And in our international news, boat heading to Canary Islands capsizes, killing at least 69 passengers. And in our sports news, Chaiwa scores on debut, but Hibernians fall short. With the news details, my name is Donacera Mary. The Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security has begun the process of digitalizing key services provided by the Department of National Registration, Passport and Citizenship DNRPC, according to Permanent Secretary Mr. Dickson Matembo. The move aims to strengthen data protection and improve accessibility to vital identity-related services. Mr. Matembo revealed that the digitalization efforts is being undertaken in partnership with Smart Zambia and will initially focus on transforming systems for issuing national registration cards, passports, and citizenship documents to digital platforms. He emphasizes that the objective of the program is to modernize services delivery, boost operational effectiveness, and reinforce security in handling identity records. Once fully implemented, the new digital system will allow Zambians, including those living abroad, to apply for identification documents through online platforms. Responding to complaints from some Zambians in the diaspora, Mr. Matembo expressed concerns over inaccurate claims that ministry officials stationed in foreign missions forced to provide assistance. He clarifies that many of the complainants lack a proper legal status in their host countries and often do not have the necessary documents required to obtain Zambian identity papers. These remarks were made during the courtesy visit to the Zambian embassy in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Mr. Matembo is currently heading Zambia's delegations to several regional meetings, including the 50th Task Force of Senior Officials and 25th Council of Ministry of Eastern and Southern Africa Anti-Money Laundering Group, as well as the 8th Public-Private Sector Dialogue Forum. Meanwhile, Changed Affairs Tom Mijelo encouraged the Ministry of engage with Meanwhile, Charged Affairs Tom Mijelo encouraged the ministry to engage with Ethiopian authorities to implement the Joint Permanent Commission of Cooperation agreement signed in 2017. He pointed out that operationalizing the GPCC would help resolve ongoing immigration challenges, particularly regarding the influx of Ethiopian nationals entering Zambia illegally. In response, Mr. Matembo reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to pursuing dialogue with Ethiopian government. He instructed the Zambian mission in Addis Ababa to actively follow up and work with Ethiopian counterparts to address issues surrounding illegal immigration and related security concerns through bilateral cooperations. This is according to a statement made available to Icu TV by Hambaya Munangandu, First Secretary, Press, Zambian Embassy, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. A Power Tools passenger bus bearing registration number AIB 8569 was completely destroyed by fire early this morning along the Great North Road between Sanimone and the Chingwere turn-off in Lusaka. The incident occurred around 04 hours. During the exact cause of the fire remains unknown. Unfortunately, all passengers and the driver were able to exit the vehicle safely before the flames consumed the entire bus. Police are currently on site managing the situation, while Power Tools staff are working to drain any remaining fuel from wreckage.
Morning. Hey, Power Tools. Hey. 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 Man, they are happy. Morning, Hey. Hey.
The small-scale Hood Agriculture Finance Facility SAFF, introduced under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, is transforming the livelihood of farmers by shifting them from subsistence farming to generating sustainable income, acquiring valuable assets, and even funding higher education for their children. In Eastern Province, Good Nature Agro has recognized the initiative as a forward-thinking policy, particularly benefiting small-scale farmers who are not included in the Farmer Input Support Program, FISP. Currently working with more than 21,000 farmers, the company is demonstrating how collaboration between the private sector and government-driven reforms can boost resilience, generating employment and uplifting rural communities.
Zambia's agriculture sector is often called the backbone of the economy, but the backbone is only as strong as the support given to smallholder farmers.
So for us in 2024 to be named as Zambia's fastest growing company in Zambia, as well as the 44th fastest growing company in Africa, was such a huge achievement and testament.
Here in Eastern Province, one company has quietly shown what is possible when the private sector and government pull in the same direction. Good Nature Agro, based in Chipata, right here in Chipata, began in 2014 with just 40 farmers. Young farmers, the company started with a simple mission to help farmers become productive and profitable.
The creation of jobs, it's not really a secondary goal to us. The creation of meaningful work at quality wages in a supportive company where people can grow is central to everything that we do. We now have over 200 employees. It's a big milestone for us. In addition, we work with almost 400 lead farmers who are paid on revenue share. So we're always looking for ways to connect the goals of the company to the goals of our employees. Everyone has their own goals, their own financial plans. We want to help them build and achieve those goals as the company is growing.
They saw the problem clearly: recycled seed, poor storage, lack of access to finance, and little to no guaranteed market. The solution was not aid, handouts, but a full package of support, training, financing, and a ready buyer for every harvest. Today, that model touches the lives of more than 21,000 farmers across Zambia, and the results are visible.
At the moment, we are in the process of sending soybean crop to various locations to fulfill the e-voucher call from the Zambian government, which is to supply quality certified seed, like to our smallholder farmers. So as Good Nature Agro, the amount of seed that we will be supplying, should be able to support over 130,000 smallholder farmers in regards to, legume seed, production for 2025 into the 2026 farming season. So we just visited our processing plant, and this is one of 3 processing plants that we have in Zambia, one here in Eastern Province, our headquarters, Chipata, and we also have 2 that we just commissioned on the 22nd of July 2025 in Lusaka M-Phase.
Farmers in Kasenengwa district, where Good Nature started, have tripled.
The Zambia Congress of Trade Union, ZCTU, has praised the United Party for National Development, UPND, for what it describes as notable progress over the past 4 years in office. ZCTU President Blake Mulala pointed to the government's strides in debt restructuring and hiring of civil servants as key indicators of the administration's commitment to national development. He also notes that the reopening of several mines has helped create much-needed employment opportunities. During a press briefing held in Lusaka, Mr. Mulala further acknowledged the government's effort to eliminate political violence and cadreism, which he said has contributed to improved peace and order in public institutions. We are now taking our first break. Stay tuned for more news coming up in our local stories.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Welcome back, and now in our local stories. Starting out in Zambia's Eastern Province, Gatoma has evolved into a prominent local motorcycle assembler, now tapping into markets outside the country. The company's growth is not only boosting local industry, but also transforming lives, with hundreds of young people making a living as motorbike taxi operators, farmers accessing markets more effectively, and reduced reliance on imports, helping to create new jobs. Thanks to President Hakainde Hichilema's focus on promoting local production and implementing business-friendly reforms, companies like Gatoma are demonstrating the potential of Zambia's innovation and competitiveness on large-scale stage.
Today in Eastern Province, we highlight Gatoma, a company that has grown from humble beginnings to an international brand. Now, Gatoma motorcycles are assembled locally right here, providing affordable, reliable transport, especially in rural areas. Farmers, traders, and young people are using them to reach markets, earn livelihoods, and connect communities. Now, the founder began with just a few kwacha, sourcing motorcycles and spare parts from Tanzania and later China. And so, small orders drew laughter. Yes, laughter, but he stayed focused. Over time, Gatoma scaled to full container loads, exported to neighboring countries, and became a symbol of Zambia's entrepreneurial drive.
So we have different types of motorcycles, and these motorcycles, they are motorcycles yanapangidwa na cholinga chakuti yatandize muntu aliyense within Zambia. But first of all, Gatoma motorcycles and spares, it's everywhere in Zambia. Okay, come Eastern Province, Northern, Southern, I can say everywhere you can find us.
Gatoma isn't just a private success. It demonstrates what the economic reports for Zambia highlighted. Zambians are creating jobs, generating income, and strengthening the economy. Gatoma also supports government initiatives. Special incentives allow civil servants to purchase motorcycles, enabling faster delivery of public services in hard-to-reach areas. Now, in Chipata, a new assembly plant has created jobs, strengthening the local economy.
Apart from my teaching business, I also do other businesses like moving in the fields, to do with farmers, as well as commuting home to school on daily basis. And without this bike, I don't think I would have had the hard time in terms of commuting, because where I work from, there are no houses, but the bike is able to take me to work and from on daily basis. So
this year, the government plans to register 790 women from Pulungu district in Northern Province under the Supporting Women's Livelihood SWL program. The Department of Community Development in Pulungu has already initiated the process of identifying eligible participants. According to the district Community Development Assistant Officer, Doreen Chilufia, a total of 793 slots have been allocated in Pulungu for this initiative. Speaking during a self-registration event held in Mungula village, Ms. Chilufia explained that the selected women will receive productivity grants and aimed at supporting and growing their businesses. She states that they will have had commenced identifying women who qualify for the Supporting Women's Livelihoods program, and that Pulungu has already allocated 793 slots for 2025. Futurepreneur Zambia Executive Director Martin Kapamba has emphasized the importance of safeguarding the environment, upholding human rights, and ensuring that communities hosting mining operations gain tangible benefits from such investments. Mr. Kapamba, echoing the mining sector's critical role in Zambia's economy, and stresses the needs for mining activities to prioritize the well-being of local communities. While speaking on the sidelines of ongoing mining Indaba in Zambia, he cautioned that failure to support these communities would result in cultural erosion, forced displacement, and environmental degradation, including water pollution.
We are not against the mining. Mining is one of the drivers of the economy that we need to embrace and ensure that it brings the benefits to the communities. But we need to ensure that as we are doing mining, we take a precaution of protecting our environment, respecting the human rights, as well as ensuring that our communities get the benefit that is required from the mining investment. Most of all, without taking care of our people, we are going to jeopardize our culture. What do we mean when we say jeopardizing our culture? look at the sources of water. In most cases, the case of Longin and Sino mine polluting our Kafue River, which is the brainstorm of our lives in terms of agriculture, water, fresh water, and aqua life. Those things have been disturbed. Not only that, in Mbonge, in Solwezi, the mining company has polluted the waters of our local communities. And displacements, we have seen what is happening in Mufrila, where people are being compensated peanuts. Our core is that as we do investment, let's respect human rights, human dignity, and look at the right compensation that is required to ensure that people, when they are displaced, they have got quality, equitable, and palatable life.
Meanwhile, Mr. Kapamba further appealed to government agencies to urgently address the pollution in the Kafue Basin, which has recently been linked to activities by cenometals, particularly before the rain season begins. He also calls for greater transparency and accountability, pointing to clear signs of contaminations and reports of livestock deaths in the area.
Speaking from hearsay, I've gone through the basins of the Kafue River personally to go and try to see the impact and then investigate the damage that has been done. If I tell you to say even crocodiles in Kafue have died, and we're still having the backs of the Kafue River still having the acid, meaning immediately it rains, that acid will come into the stream and it will still affect the aqua life and the people who are taking water from that stream. Truth needs to be told. We want the government to take the precaution to remediate and ensure that the land and water is restored.
You're still watching Icu TV News. Stay tuned as we take a break, and coming up next is our international news.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back, and now in our international news. At least 69 people have died and many more are missing after a boat capsized off the coast of Mauritian Coast Guard in Northwest Africa country has said. 17 people have been rescued and a search is continuing for other passengers who were aboard the canoe that was heading towards Spain's Canary Islands. According to survivors, the boat left the Gambia 6 days before Tuesday's accident, carrying around 160 people on board, many Gambians and Senegalese nationals. The perilous journey over the Atlantic Ocean have become an increasingly common route for African immigrants trying to reach Europe. Still in our international news, several investigations have been launched after a Spanish man in Kenya posted a video of himself pouring beer down an elephant's truck, sparking anger on social media. He was filming in a wildlife reservation, drinking from a can of Tusker, a popular local beer, before giving the rest of it to an elephant. He captioned one clip, posting on Instagram as "just a Tusker with a tusked friend," but the post was later deleted from his account following backlash from Kenyans in the comments. The BBC analyzed the footage and was able to authenticate it as genuine. The landscape and a well-known bull elephant point to its being filmed at the OI Goji Conservancy in the central country of rather, the BBC analyzed the footage and was able to authenticate it as genuine. The landscape and a well-known bull elephant point to it being filmed at the Oi Goji Conservancy in the central country of Laikipia. A member of staff contracted by contacted by the BBC at the privately owned wildlife sanctuary was shocked by the behavior and said the video would be passed on to the relevant authorities. A staffer identified only as Frank said that it should never have happened, emphasizing that they were a conservation organization and could not allow such incidents to occur. We'll take a short break. Stay tuned for sports news.
Did you know that mental health conditions are treatable and recovery is possible? Hi, I'm Ngenia Febamoyo. I'm your host on Let's Talk Mental Health. I invite you all to this show where you freely express yourself and together we find a solution. For more details, you can contact 0777 93 73 92 and we'll be there to help you find solutions to whatever you're going through.
Welcome back, and now in our sports news. Chipolopolo's attacking midfielder Miguel Chaiwa made a memorable impact in his Hibernian debut, scoring a goal just minutes after coming on as a substitute in the UEFA Conference League qualifiers. However, his impressive start couldn't secure a win for his team, as Hibernians drew 3-3 with Legia Warsaw in the final round. Chaiwa was substituted on in the 57th minute and wasted no time making his mark, netting a crucial goal just 4 minutes later. Despite his contribution, Hibernians' overall campaign fell short as they were eliminated on a 5-4 aggregated scoreline. The thrilling match showcased the competitive spirit of both teams, but ultimately Liga aggregate leads proved too much to overcome. Chaiwa's debut goal will undoubtedly boost his confidence, and Hibernian fans will look forward to seeing more of the young player's talent in the future. The Chipolopolo star, who featured in the last edition of the African Cup of Nations, has also been called by Zambia national team coach Avram Grant for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the group leaders Morocco. That sport item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, let's take a quick recap on the stories making headlines. Home Affairs Ministry begins digital transformation of identity services. Powertree's bus gutted by fire on Great North Road. SAFF transforms livelihoods of small-scale farmers in Eastern Province. In our international news, boat heading to Canary Islands capsizes, killing at least 64 passengers. And in our sports news, Chaiwa scores on debut, but Hibernian falls short. Thank you so much for watching. For more news updates, stay glued to our Facebook page at Icu Tv and on our website at icutv.com.